We recording?
We're recording. This is your thing, so you lead the way, ask me questions,
Ah,
and if I talk too much, tell me to shut up.
no, I know. Well, this is what I'm hoping for is for you to talk as much as you want because the longer it is, the better. 'Cause I haven't uploaded in 4 months, so yeah. So
Uh-oh.
yeah, I know. So hello, guys. It's me, Notorious VR. This is my first podcast, and I'm very appreciated to have JayBrattVR in this for the first episode. So Jay, again, much appreciated for you coming on, especially for my first one. I wasn't expecting to get, at least a bigger YouTuber like me to actually come on because I know you're a busy guy, and we'll get on to those type of busy stuff as we go on. But yeah, thank you, man. Much appreciated.
Hey, I love being people's first, and I'm happy to be here. When you said, "Hey, you're doing this," I was like, "Yeah, I'll of course be there for you." I love guessing on other stuff and doing my own thing. So yeah, happy to be here.
Oh, thank you, man. So I was just gonna go right into it. I know you're a VR guy. You've owned the Rift S, the Quest, now the Valve Index, which I'll get into soon. But like how did the whole VR journey kind of begin for you? Like because you started your channel. Well, it says back in 2012, but I'd imagine you started your channel maybe a little bit later than
Oh,
that. So
much later.
oh yeah.
Much
So
later. So,
tell me
so
how
it
it began.
says it says 2012 because that's when I think I made my video or my channel because you have to make one to comment. And I think I did it to comment on like a Jacksepticeye video or
Oh yeah.
something. And so I think that's the only reason it says 2012. I didn't start the channel till May of 2018,
Oh really?
but
Okay.
before that, actually on Jack's channel, I had seen him trying the Oculus DK1 and the
Oh yeah.
DK2, and I remembered seeing those things, and I was like, "This looks so cool." I had kind of fallen out of gaming over the last several years before that, and I was like, "This, I think, is what would get me back into gaming." So I was like,
Yeah.
the first Oculus, the Rift came out, and it was way too expensive. A gaming PC was way
Yeah.
too expensive, but the PSVR was coming, and so I
Yeah. Oh
reserved
yeah.
one of those things day one. I was like, I'm getting this first thing. And then the funny thing, I reserved it, but then like the next month, they offered like a free Gear VR if you got a new Samsung
Oh yeah.
phone. So
Yeah.
I actually got one of those first, but I don't really consider that. I wanted the PSVR first, so I consider that the start of my
Yeah.
journey. But I
Yeah.
did have a Gear VR. Did you ever try one of those?
Yeah, no, yeah, I had
Yeah.
the Gear one was my first one. I had like the little kind of remote control with it. It was just that little
Yep.
one, and you had them like the roller coaster and all that. I remember my
Uh
brother
huh.
showing me it for the first time. I think I was maybe like 11 or 12, and I remember I didn't realize how. I mean, at the time it was my first kind of realism in VR, and as soon as I put it on, there was this big zombie loading screen. And I shat myself. Like I was scary. I flung it off, and I was like, "Nah, change it before I end up, doing something stupid and breaking your phone with it." But no, I do remember those. And again, kind of like you said, the PlayStation VR was my kind of first headset. So
Nice.
what got you like? Obviously, when you started off your channel, you did actually do PlayStation VR games, as far
Mhm.
as I'm aware. You've got your most popular video. How to set up, the PlayStation VR. So, would you, I guess that's how your journey actually started as you said. So it's awesome, and I guess were you expecting, especially that video, like were you that's what definitely boosted your channel. You would say that as well, wouldn't you? That's
I
that
think
was the
so.
middle
I think
video.
that's what really made it take off because I think we'd been
Yeah,
uploading videos for about 7 months before we made that video. And I
yeah,
think we'd gotten about 400 subscribers in those seven
yeah,
months. And after that, like within 2 months, we were at like 2,000. That
mhm,
video, I knew it was going to take off though, because a big part of why I started the channel was
yeah,
I spent a lot of time on Reddit. And on the PSVR sub, I was always reading about tracking. I was always telling other people, like, hey, I've heard this or I've tried this and I've done this. And over time, it was like all this stuff that I was constantly saying over and over again on Reddit. I was like, I feel like I should make a channel and just
yeah,
kind of get this stuff out there in an easy to
mhm,
find way.
yeah,
And
yeah.
yeah, videos that help people, it makes a big difference in their lives. And that helped a lot of people. So
Oh
it
yeah, I mean,
really,
it's funny because I was looking at it, and I think that was actually one of the first videos that I watched of
hmm,
yours a
yep,
while ago before I even aware of who you were. Because, like I said, the PlayStation VR was my first headset. It was the
yep.
only one that I could really afford at the time. And then I remember watching. I think it was you. I could be completely wrong, so sorry if I am. But I remember watching. I was like, "This is like I'm now interviewing you as well, which is mad." Like I'm watching one of my first videos of you, how I set it up my PlayStation VR with all the tips, with the lighting, with the motion controls, and now I'm here. So yeah. Yeah, that video helped a lot of people definitely, and yeah, Reddit's really, is a really good source. I did one video, obviously, with the Quest. Oh, well, I can't get it, but with the Quest controller, like just little like shortcuts on how to take like a screenshot, how you get it home, quite easily. So yeah. And speaking about Oculus, you're sponsored by them. How did that come around? What happened? You want to give us more about that? I was surprised. I was like, this guy's giving Oculus some bad reviews,
I
and then the
that's
next minute they're sponsored. Like, what
so
happened?
so we're not it's not a sponsorship. It is technically I'm an ambassador or a partner is what it's
Yeah,
called. So basically what happens with this process is they find channels and they look at them, they inspect them, they go through their content. They don't tell you any of this time this is going on. You don't
yeah,
apply for it. They're looking at you and
right,
then they decide whether or not they want to approach you. So when they
right.
approached me, I was pretty shocked because yeah, I've got some videos that were kind of disparaging towards them.
Yeah,
But they said, we want honest feedback. We want critical feedback. We're trying to really take the brand in a direction that shows we listen to what people say. This was right before they announced that they were going to quit the whole Facebook requirement. And
yeah,
so I was like, okay, I want to believe you. I'm going to give you this chance here, and I'll work with you. But, I had them add a line. I was like, at any time, if something goes wrong, I can leave or they can ask me to leave. It's like,
yeah,
it might happen. But so
yeah,
far, they seem to be enjoying the honesty and the feedback. So it's a
yeah.
good mark for me, especially from a company that we all thought was, stealing all of our data and mining our
Oh
whole
yeah.
lives.
Yeah, because I remember Facebook. It's like when you went into the like whatever happened to Facebook Horizon. Like I heard stuff about like people can watch you live. Like I found that a bit not uncomfortable, but it's a bit weird when you're in a private. I don't know if you've heard about this, but when you're in like a private environment, but someone can be watching you. I found that a
Yeah.
bit kind of weird. So, and speaking about Facebook, what do you think of the whole metaverse? With Mark talking about all of that stuff. What do you think of all of that metaverse stuff? Are you thinking that are they going to lead into kind of like a Ready Player One vibe, which I'm currently reading Ready Player Two? So, what do you think of all of that stuff?
I think that the metaverse is a natural evolution of technology. I think that it makes sense that eventually, as technology gets more approachable and the internet gets faster,
Yeah,
eventually there will be digital places that we want to go visit and hang out in.
yeah,
I don't like the idea of any one company being in control of it. And
yeah.
Facebook changing their name to Meta kind of feels like they're trying to grab it before it even exists.
Oh yeah,
They
yeah.
want they want people to think Meta means metaverse, and then that
Mhm,
just means them. But
mhm,
in interviews they try and say no, it's going to be many, many different people
yeah,
and brands and things. But it definitely, I felt like that was when they said, "Oh, we're just going to be a part of it." It's like I don't know that I fully
yeah,
believe that's what you
yeah.
want. I think you want to own it, but
Yeah.
you're
Well,
acting like
well,
you know.
what have they got? I mean, they've got Oculus, Facebook. What I can't remember the rest, but everything is Meta, which is kind of interesting to me. This whole metaverse stuff because I mean you've got games such as VR Chat, which is one of the most popular. Close enough that you're going to get to Ready Player One, and also you've got Rec Room, and if they can make something better like that, like if they make their own games such as Ready Player One, it'll be that game. Everyone will be playing that 24/7, 110%, because who wouldn't want to live like Ready Player One? With the with the little treadmill and all of that. I would love that. Who wouldn't? Like with a person that kind of I suffer from anxiety, and from a person that just loves VR and can escape from that immersion, I would love for that to happen. But like I said, I don't know if they'll be. I mean, it'll be pretty. I mean, I don't know. It could be easy for them, but do you
Mhm.
think they could possibly beat VR Chat? Rec Room's quite popular in terms of kid wise, but do you think they would be able to beat to beat those games?
I don't think so, but I don't think that's their usual MO. What they usually
Yeah,
do is they see one that's successful and they buy it. And
and yeah,
I do think they have the money that once
oh
they're
yeah,
ready, they might try to acquire one of those big ones. There's even
mm-hmm.
rumors before that, Rec Room has this secret funder that gives them tons of money. And there's
Oh
been
really?
rumors
Yeah,
for a long time that it
yeah.
might be Facebook. I don't
See,
know if there's any truth to
it's
that.
funny that because obviously with Rec Room's been doing, with Ink, there's people getting. I mean, I've been one of them. That's how I got my Valve Index. Those people creating stuff and they're getting money. Like, I've been
Mm-hmm.
playing the game since 2017, and I do not remember the Rec Room community being. I mean, I'm not calling them poor in any way, but I don't remember them being, this. Oh yeah, you want $1,000? There's so many people, handing stuff
Yeah.
out, but maybe they've got stuff, behind the scenes. But no, I've never really hit hell of that. So yeah,
Well,
that's interesting behind the scenes.
it's an interesting thing you bring up because that's something I've said for years. I said, there's so many games that are you pay to win and you do this and that. But I was like, the first
Yeah,
game that truly makes it to where you can make money just
yeah,
from being in the game is going to change the world. And
yeah.
I feel like Rec Room is touching on that.
Oh
They're
yeah.
starting to make this thing where if you create in the game and people like what you create,
Mhm.
you actually make money. People could theoretically turn this into their job. And this isn't
Yeah.
streaming. This isn't making content. This is just playing the
Correct. Yeah.
game and
Yeah.
creating inside of it. And that would be huge. I mean, think about, oh, you're going to go get a job at fast food. No, I'm going to work on
No, I'm
Rec
going to go
Room.
for Rec Room. Yeah, I mean, my parents used to say to me, "Oh, you can't get a job playing games." So I'm like, look at me now.
Yeah.
I'm buying stuff with stuff that I've built.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, it's mad. Like, there's people that are literally, I think, I won't say names, but there are younger creators, like younger than me, that are literally earning more money than possibly, like, they're like, I can't remember what Gribbly said, but an average player's is well, not an average player, but there's a player that's earning like 10K a month, something like
Mhm.
that, and I'm like, what? that just baffled me, and it's mad, how like they're getting more money, most likely getting more money than their own parents.
Yep.
It should be them paying off the rent for their houses. You know what I mean? But
Yep.
yeah, no, yeah, it's mad. I mean, like you said, Rec Room is doing really well in terms of, especially for people my age, especially during lockdown. People were struggling. People, there were jobs going out of business. There were people leaving jobs, and a lot of that's where kind of VR, especially for the Quest 2, boosted in sales during lockdown. And Rec Room also, when Rec Room started this whole Ink program, uh, most people started to do that, especially me. I'm trying to get back into the whole kind of creating stuff. I just need that little bit of motivation again. But yeah, no, it's mad. But yeah, sorry, I dragged on that subject for a little bit too long, but it's okay. Yeah, I want to get onto a kind of a little funny side that I want to kind of mention. You get people sending you, head straps, just their products, and I remember, you either really like them or you really hate them. But I've always
Yeah.
wondered, when you say you hate them, what do they do? Like, you're like, oh, this is bad. Like, do you send them back? Do you keep it? Do you give it away? Like, what happens?
They've sent it to me already. It's not worth their time or money most time to have me even send it back. It's
Right.
too much logistics. It's too much work. But there's usually two reactions. One, and some of the companies that I have the best relationship with now
Yeah.
will say, okay, here's what we did wrong, and they'll fix it. And they'll
Yeah.
send me another product that shows they've changed. They'll take the advice, because that's what the whole purpose of this
Yeah.
is to show companies, okay, fix the product where people are going to really like it and you're going to sell well. And those are the companies, one of them has sponsored our podcast forever. Companies like that I really respect. The other one is they'll either get mad, they'll quit talking to me, or they'll even try to ask me to take the video down.
Oh, no way.
I've had multiple ask me to take it down, and I'm like, I've made the offer
They
to
sent
a
you for
few
a
of them.
reason, you know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
that was the point of you sending them.
And they
Like,
should have known. Like, if it's a bad
yeah.
product, I tell them that too ahead of time. Like, if it's bad, I'm gonna tell it like it is. So
Yeah.
you probably shouldn't send it if you don't believe in the product.
Mhm.
But I don't know if they think that because I got it for free, it's gonna sway my thinking.
Yeah.
Yeah, a lot of them have asked that, and I've said to some of them, because they say, "Oh, we'll fix it, we'll change the product, but can you pull the video?" And I tell them, "Okay, if you change it and fix it and send me a better product, I'll pull the old video and I'll make a new video talking about how you fixed it." Not
Yeah.
one of them has actually done that yet.
Yeah.
No one has improved it and sent me another one showing that they were actually being serious about fixing it. The other companies who did fix it, they were straightforward. They never asked me to pull a video.
Yeah.
But if they ask you to pull a video, they're probably being shady.
Yeah, oh yeah, I mean, I haven't gotten any sponsors yet, but when it comes to stuff like that, and they say it's bad, I mean, what do they expect? Like surely they know it's bad, even when you send, especially from, like, I don't want to. Well, yeah, you are like a VR, professional, I would say, when it comes to all of your equipment. like, you know what you're doing, so surely for the people that created it, surely they know it's kind of bad also before they send it. So yeah, I do agree, it is a bit shady. Do you
You
have?
would think
Sorry,
you would
go.
think so, but the problem is a lot of these people sending it to you didn't create the product.
Oh really?
They're what's called drop shippers. And so a drop shipper, you could start drop shipping today if you wanted. You find a
Right.
company that has created 10,000 head straps that all look pretty similar, and then you say, "Hey, I want to put the Notorious logo on it, and then I'll sell these to my audience." And you never physically touch the product. They just give you a link, they mock up a design, and as you sell them, they brand them and send them out. So a lot of
Hmm.
these companies, that's why you'll notice, 3 companies sell the exact same head strap on Amazon, just with a different name on it. It's all
Oh yeah.
coming from the same manufacturer, and they never touch the product. They believe that it's good, or they want to believe that it's good, but they
Yeah.
never tell it. They never made it. It's a completely different thing than the companies that actually make it themselves. Those companies believe in their product and then send it out.
Yeah, it's funny because I ordered my head strap off of. I mean, I've got this one, and I laughed when I seen your video because I was like, I really like. I remember you said you hated it. I was like, I think it's a pretty good head strap. It's this one, and it's a
Oh,
this one, and I remember you saying like, oh, because I watched your head strap reviews before I got the Valve, and I was like, I don't know if I should upgrade to the one that you like. Is it the
uh-huh.
Kiwi one? I can't remember the company name, but there's a head strap that you really like. I can't remember
The
the
Kiwi
company
one's
name.
good, and the Bobo
Yeah,
VR ones are good.
Boba.
I really
Yeah,
like
the
them.
Boba
Yeah.
VR ones are really good. Same with the VR. Let me pop out. Oh, if I can.
I
The
remember that
VR
head strap.
straps as well. I
Yes.
got this. I got this from you. So yeah, that was awesome. But yeah, and it's funny because that head strap, they were trying to rip off the. You see how the Quest 2 had that kind of wooden look design with it. It made it look like it was an official product, and it actually
hmm
wasn't. I remember you saying that in one of your videos, and I'm like, how? I mean, also Oculus isn't going to see and be like, oh yeah, we're going to sue them. They won't do that unless if they actually seen it. But I was like, they are lucky that they haven't been caught because it's so accurate to the actual kind of box design. At least that head strap was.
yeah.
Do you have a favorite kind of head strap? I know you like. Was it Boba?
The
Sorry, I
Bobo
forgot.
VR
Yeah.
M2 Pro is my current favorite. It has a battery pack that can just be popped off and swapped with another
Mhm.
one while you're playing.
Yeah.
They're actually coming out with another strap in the next week or two. A little
Oh really?
exclusive sneak peek for your listeners here.
Oh brilliant.
It's an Elite strap, so it's
Oh
designed
man.
like the Elite strap, but it uses a different padding that's supposed to not really slip at all, and it
Right.
will actually use the same battery the M2 Pro does. So if
Oh
you
right,
have,
okay.
like me, if you have an M2 Pro and an extra battery, you can swap these
Swap
batteries
them.
between all the straps.
So I can't remember what you call those head straps, but have you got the design with you, or is it getting sent to you, or?
It's supposed to be here any day. They've already sent it. I've gotten some sneak previews of it, and I'm really excited because it looks like,
Yeah.
for the people who don't like the Halo strap, this will fit that entire market. Because a lot of
Oh
people
really? Yeah.
either like the Halo or they like the Elite. So now Bobo VR will have a Halo and an Elite. So look, they'll
Oh,
have
that's
one for
brilliant.
everybody. Yeah.
Well, I'll need to look into that. Thank you for telling me a little sneak peek view of it. So yeah,
Yeah.
no, thank you. I mean, I take it that that company's been good to you
Yeah.
in
Yeah.
terms of products.
Well, the first head strap theirs that came out, I didn't even know who they were. I just saw it on Amazon, and I was like,
Yeah,
"Oh, this looks interesting," and I bought
yeah.
it
All
myself
right,
just to
okay.
try it out. And then they were so happy with the review because I really liked that head strap. Ever
Yeah,
since then, they've been really, really generous, sending me their
that's it.
products ahead of time, letting me be one of the first to review them. And so, because of that, that's really helped us grow in the Quest community, because people like the Bobo VR name now, and usually our videos are one of the first to come out on their new products.
That's awesome. No, no, that's well done, man. Because especially, I mean, I'm hoping to kind of, get into that kind of unboxing stage. And would you have, I say advice for people. I don't really know how to put this into words, but like just what advice would you give to people, that want to do what you're doing? They're getting sent free stuff for reviews or stuff like that. Would you have any advice for people such as myself? I'm going to be listening to this as well, but for people that want advice on how to get people to look at them, such as Boba. Sorry, I keep on forgetting the name, or Kiwi or anything like that. What advice would you give them?
I would say the most important thing is just start, save up a little
Yeah,
money, buy a few products yourself. Cause it's so funny. Cause every time I'm like, oh, I really need this or I really need that. And
Mhm.
I keep like kind of holding out, hoping, well, maybe a company will send me one to test out. And it doesn't happen. But like, I finally was like, okay, I'm just going to buy a gamer chair because I need a gamer chair. And then the
Yeah,
minute I made a video about it, it's like 3 companies reached out to me about sending me a gamer chair. So it's kind of like you have to do it first. And
yeah,
then people will
and
start, they'll
then
see
the
that video and then they'll contact you.
yeah,
So,
I've seen a few of the gaming chairs. They
yeah.
look better. I've got a spare gaming chair there. I don't know if you can see. I've got a chair. I've got a couch that I use, and I broke my other one. It's down in the loft. So I've currently got this one. And is it comfortable? No. So will I be watching your videos about the gaming chairs to see which one suits me? Of course I will. So I might buy one of our new chairs.
Yeah, it sounds like you got a squeak in that one too.
Yeah, yeah, no doubt half the audio is going to be that actually. I
Squeaky
just
chair.
remember. Yeah, I know. Oh, magic! I never thought of that. Anyways, about Oculus VR games, they recently did like a kind of gaming. I can't remember that. It was when they introduced the whole metaverse. You know,
Mhm.
they announced GTA VR. You
Yeah.
know, what do you think of like exclusive games like that? You know, you had Resident Evil come out just in November, I think it was. You know, do you think Oculus are doing like a good path? I mean, it's good for their money, but you
Mhm.
know, do you think, you know, well, what do you think of the whole Oculus game wise? Do you think they're going to do well this year, or you know stuff like that with games?
I I think the sheer fact that they've sold so many quests means that so many developers are going to be looking at developing for Quest that it's
Yeah.
going to continue to get more and more good games.
I
I
was
think that
surprised I even seen GTA. Like I was like
that's yeah.
GTA? No
Yeah.
way! Like strip club VR, happy days.
I do wonder, are they going to censor anything or are they going to change
Oh
it
yeah,
because
yeah,
they're kind of known for that. But that
yeah,
game and Resident Evil 4, those were two of like my wish list of my whole life games to see
yeah.
in VR. So to
Oh
see
yeah,
those happen is huge. I hope
yeah.
they keep doing it. Even if they just keep recreating older games, like
Yeah, I mean,
there's a huge
Resident Evil
market.
was really
Yeah.
good. Resident Evil
Hmm.
was it seven? Seven was my favorite one, and you know, they did a few Resident Evil games to come to VR. I can't remember the PlayStation one. I I was scared.
That was
I
7.
hated.
Yeah. 7
Yeah,
was
oh
on
yeah, that was
PSVR.
seven.
Uh-huh.
What was the Oculus one? Was that
Oculus 1 was 4. Resident Evil
four?
4.
Yeah,
Yep.
I enjoyed that, but I mean, I guess what I want them to do more. There was a lot of uh, how do I put it? Like a lot of 2D scenes, if you know what I mean by that. So
Yep.
like if
Yep.
you were to go up a ladder, it would just kind of feel like you would teleport there. So
Yeah.
I hope they kind of fix stuff like that. In terms of they are going to recreate old games, and to be honest with you, I think that's the best way to recreate any game right now. Like, see if they want to make Pokemon VR,
Hmm.
go for it. You know,
Yeah.
especially with GTA VR. I cannot wait because I was actually going to sell my Quest 2. I don't know why, but you know, I got the Valve Index, and I was kind of
Uh-huh.
not wasting money, but I was like, I need money, so I was like, I'm going to sell my Quest, and then you know the next day was that launch, and they're like GTA it's come to VR. I was like, show me a sneak peek at least, come on, but then they didn't show anything, and I was like, you know what, I'm going to keep this for. I mean, did they say I released it, or did they just say it was coming soon?
They said it was coming. We don't know when. We know that they were hiring people. I want to say it was nearly a year ago. There was this
Yeah,
weird posting that said Rockstar needs to hire or something for an open world VR game, and no one knew
yeah,
what it was. And so it's probably been in development for a while.
yeah.
So I'm hoping by this summer or maybe even this April or whenever it is when Facebook has their other that's like the Oculus Connect and the Facebook Connect. Maybe at that one they'll announce it or they'll drop it. I hope because I want to play it so bad. I
Yeah.
love that game. I
Oh
spent way
yeah.
too much of my life playing that game.
No, yeah, that's awesome. The next thing I kind of want to talk about is you've always been well from when I've watched your channel. You've always been you've always looked at all kind of VR headsets, but you've mainly been an Oculus guy, and you got the. Sure I understand. That's sorry. Yeah, don't worry. Sorry, I'm not talking to you. No, but you know, you spent 10 days for a subscriber special in the Valve Index. 10
Hmm.
days. I can't last 2 hours on a VR headset without getting motion sickness. You know. So how was the Valve Index experience? Like, was that your first time using it?
So I had just borrowed it and I
Oh,
had,
right, okay.
tested it and played with it a little bit. But yeah, that was really my full foray into the Valve Index. And I enjoyed it. I was impressed. It was a nice headset. It was more comfortable than I would have imagined. It still wasn't PSVR
Hmm.
comfortable, but for a
Oh, really?
strapped on headset, it was pretty comfortable. The controllers were actually a little less exciting than I thought because I'm so
Oh,
used to
yeah.
Quest hand tracking that I
Yeah.
thought the Index was going to be like that, but with controllers. And
Yeah.
it's
Oh
not
yeah,
quite
it's
finger
not, yeah,
tracking.
it's not, yeah, I don't, yeah, especially, I mean, for a Rec Room creator point of view, when it comes to
Uh,
creating stuff, when I went to PlayStation VR building to Quest build, well, to these controllers, it was such a big difference because like you didn't have the little joystick,
yep.
and it was such a big step. And we're kind of the same with the Valve Index. When I tried out building, it was really weird. Like you've got these individual finger tracking, but also Rec Room is just like the hands like that. You only
It's a
have that.
Lego
You know what I mean?
hand.
You can't do much. But no. So what do you think of the Knuckles? You tried out Half Life Alex, I believe you did try
Hmm.
out that game. So what was that like? That's one of the most sold games on Steam, I'm pretty sure. So did you enjoy that better? Because I know you have played it before, but was it better with Knuckles? Did it feel like different?
The headset and the field of view and the resolution made it a better experience. The
Yeah.
Knuckles, they're better than the Oculus controllers, but it wasn't by the margin I thought it would be. They
Oh yeah.
felt slightly better, and I thought
Mhm.
it was going to feel like using your real hands. My
Yeah.
expectations were
Yeah.
too high from
Yeah.
seeing the videos of
Well, I
it.
think everyone had that, to be completely honest. I had
Yeah.
that, to be completely honest with you. And I don't know about you. I mean, I've got quite big hands. Like, I've got kind of chunky hands, and it's hard to get a comfortable feeling. I don't know if you had that problem, but
Hmm.
did you find a
Hmm.
hard kind of comfortable feeling to get? Because you do have comfort options. I've tried every one, but it just didn't seem comfortable. But with these, it's like it's the comfiest you're going to get, in my opinion. These are the controls that I like. There's no option. It's a simple, you know, your hands on it, and boom. So from an Oculus guy trying out the Valve Index for 10 days, for 24 hours, 10 days, how, would you buy a Valve Index, or would you stick to Oculus? You would say.
I would have bought a Valve Index 3 years ago when it launched if I'd
Right.
had the money. But at this
Right.
point, it's still the same price as it was. It's still $1,000.
Yeah.
So
Still
I'm
a lot
not
of money.
buying one
Yeah.
because I feel like I'm going to buy it now. And then in 6 months, they're going to announce something better, newer,
Oh
and for
yeah.
the same price.
Yeah.
And so I'm not buying one. I'm sticking with my Quest and my PSVR just until
Yeah.
something new gets announced. I'm no, as you said earlier, I'm no huge fan of Oculus. I'm not stuck to their brand.
Yeah.
I would love to get a Valve headset. I just don't want to pay $1,000 for something that would have cost $1,000 3 years ago.
Yeah.
That just seems like a hard
Yeah.
sell to me
Oh yeah,
personally.
yeah. I mean, I bought it just in December, and I was expecting a little bit of like a price drop, but I don't think it's been on sale once. I don't
Nope,
think it's ever had a price drop.
not
And
once.
and you're saying you want to hang on till they possibly bring out a new headset. What do you think Valve is next to do? Do you think they should go wireless, or do you think they should stay to wired headsets? Like, what do you think their next headset will be?
It's it, they could make it wire, but it needs to be wireless. I have
Yeah.
demoed VR to so many people. I counted up one time, and it was over 100 people that I've
Right.
shown VR to, and two of them bought wired VR headsets,
Yeah.
and that was two people that I sold mine to for a really good deal.
Yeah.
And like 10 have bought Quests just because it's wireless. People want
Yeah.
wireless, especially in something you can't see what's going on in the world around you. A
Mhm.
wire is a much bigger inconvenience to the average person than it is to us VR enthusiasts. So I'm
Yeah.
hoping Valve makes a VR headset that is still built for PC VR. It's still built for those high experiences, but I don't
Yeah.
know if it comes with some sort of antenna that attaches to your computer. I don't know if it has some sort of, radio blaster that gets that high
Yeah.
fidelity to the headset, but that would be what I would want, and I would
Yeah.
definitely buy it.
Yeah. I hope they do the same as well. Like, I got, where is it? Oh, I can't find it. But I bought the VR link cable, and I
Hmm.
don't know about you, but it was a complete waste of money. In my opinion, I paid it was roughly like £100. I imagine it'd be around about $100 over there as well, and it didn't describe a lot. It was like it was like a Samsung plug in my PC, and I have a feeling most PCs. don't have it, but it's got a little stupid Samsung plug. It's like, who has that in their PC? So not also had to pay $100 for that cable. I had to go on Amazon and buy one of these things.
Adapter,
yeah, like one of these things just so I could play it. And was it worth the money? No.
No.
I mean, I don't know. I mean, I don't know if I did something wrong, but a few months after that, they brung out like the Air Link, so you could hook your PC, and then virtual desktop. Virtual desktop is brilliant, and I hope they keep on updating virtual desktop, because they've got a bit of competition, I would say, with the new kind of, I can't remember the exact name, but I think it's Air Link. Maybe you can correct me. So they've got Air Link and they've got virtual desktop. In my opinion, I think virtual desktop is still that little bit better. I just hope they keep on updating it. Virtual desktop.
Yeah, I agree, because it's what people want. The problem then they run into is the Quest 2 does not have great battery life when you're running AirLink. So you've got to have a battery strap.
Oh yeah.
otherwise you're gonna have an hour and a half of VR at a time before it dies.
Oh yeah. I mean, from a person that has motion sickness and gets it quite easily, 2 hours is quite enough for me. But it's weird, because when you try on a VR headset, it goes by like that, and like I say I've got motion sickness, but that 2 hours does me fine. But I wish I went on for like a little bit longer, because especially from a Rec Room creator point of view, I could be creating something and it just shuts off, and I'm like, I didn't save. I didn't save the room. And then that's happened a few times to me. But I don't know. Like, do you think? I mean, also there's been leaks and rumors about a Quest Elite. What was that? Was that the rumor going around?
People think there's a Quest Pro or a Quest 3, and we don't really know.
Do you think they should do that? Especially this kind of, I say early, because they near enough just brung out the Quest 2. Quest 2 is one of the best headsets out there. Me personally, I don't think they should make one right now. I think they should kind of hang off and be like, okay, what can we do better? But also, what does the future kind of hold with Quest 3? Do we want to make the battery life longer? Do we want to do this? Do we want to do that? But what do you think? What would you want? Kind of what I asked you about the Valve Index. What would you want for Quest 3 or Quest Pro?
I would want to see maybe the opposite of what the Quest 2 was. The Quest 2 was the most affordable, cheap headset. It tries to reach the very bottom of the market. I would love to see like a Quest Pro that's $500 or $600, but has a huge field of view, high resolution, a better processor in it, better tracking, maybe cameras in the controllers so the controllers don't have dead spots like now. I would love to see all that in a Quest Pro or Quest 3, whatever they want to call it, just something that caters to the higher end, because it's hard sometimes. Like, I have that person who loaned me the Valve Index. I let him try the Quest and he was like, this isn't for me. I am a PC gamer because I want the high end. I want the big experience. And there's nothing I can recommend them from Oculus that's going to give them that experience.
I get that. I mean, most headsets, I think the Valve Index does the best for it. I can't afford a $1,800 headset with like 4K, and it's literally got field of view right across. But that's one thing that I would say, that the field of view is good in this. Don't get me wrong, it is good. But I don't know about you, but I've got quite big eyes, and I do tend to. I think you're always going to kind of notice it, but you always see like the black rims around it, and that irritates me, especially when you want to be immersed in a game. The last thing that you want to see is those little kind of black rings around it. Like, I've got it to like the setting, and I don't know about you. I think you like the headset, I think, but the Rift S is one of my most let down headsets out of all headsets I've owned. Like, my PlayStation VR lasted longer than that, and in my opinion, the PlayStation, I mean, it is a good headset, but it's the worst one that I've owned in terms of the Valve Index, for example. I mean, like, the Rift S was the most comfortable, but what did you think of the Rift S? I'm just asking because obviously from my experience, I didn't like it. But what did you like about the Rift S?
If you think the Rift S is the worst headset, you haven't owned a Windows headset. I have owned 2 Windows VR headsets, the originals, and those were the worst headsets I've ever tried.
Really?
They didn't fit. They weren't comfortable. So I'm talking about the original HP one mostly.
I know
those people are listening. The original HP one, it wasn't comfortable. It didn't fit well. It was all plasticky. and it just felt like it felt like it was gonna break at any moment. And then you had these controllers that were not built for human hands. I think an alien built these controllers,
Right.
and they had such a little field of tracking because they only had 2 cameras on it to track them, that if you had your hands out here, they'd lose tracking.
I lose tracking.
That was terrible. I then got a Rift CV1, a used one. It was kind of broken, but it sort of worked. And that was actually a pretty quality headset. And then after that, I got the Rift S, and the Rift S never felt quite as quality as the CV1 did. But the Rift S had the Halo strap, so at least it was decently comfortable. As long as you put headphones in, you had good audio, because the included audio was terrible.
Oh, yeah.
But it was not durable. I went through 2 sets of controllers in 2 years, and they crack and they break. And it was what I had, for $400. It was kind of what you could get at the time.
Yeah.
But I would never recommend it to anybody who's looking for one now, unless you could find it for like $200 maybe.
It's more of a collector's item now, I would say. People collect it to have on their wall and gather dust. Like, it's something that you put glass around. Like, it's like that. That's history, because when the first Oculus headset came out, there was no controllers. In fact, when you can correct me if I'm wrong, but it was all originally an Xbox controller. And then it was a few kind of, I don't want to say a few years, but it was a good couple of years later, and then they brought out the
touch controllers.
Yeah, and that's what made VR, in my opinion, that's what made me get a VR, because it was the closest you could make to like an actual fist. Like, see, I'm into like the whole boxing scene, so see that when I knew I could make a fist, I'm like, I'm buying a VR so I can punch VR people. So that's what made me want to get a headset with those controllers, because I think the first game that I tried was The Climb. And when you're using the Xbox controls, your hands are here. You're just kind of like, oh, okay, grab that. But when you've got the controls, you're like, you need to actually reach up and grab it. I can't actually play it because my ceiling is quite short. So I'm like, I'll end up trying to reach up, and I'm like, it's just a big bang. So I can't reach. I end up touching the ceiling. Just while we're on the topic of games, what do you remember your first VR game that you played?
So it depends on what system we're talking about. If we include Gear VR, one of the first games I played was called Land's End, and I will say that game actually made me a believer even in the Gear VR. It was this weird, really pretty, really simple game, but there was these points that you would look at, and then you would float to this point, and then there were these puzzles that you would use telepathy with your mind to move these things around and complete these puzzles. And it was really cool for a Gear VR game. I still cherish that. But then I got the PSVR, and it came with that VR Worlds disc that had the
VR
London
Worlds
Heist,
is amazing.
the shark.
The London Heist.
Yes.
I want name. I don't know why. I actually did this a few months ago. I don't know why I did it, but I kept on going on Google to see the London Heist PC edition. When's that coming out? Because I loved the London Heist. I think I was like 12. I was 12 when I got the PSVR headset. And that's the first game that I played, because I've seen so many reviews on it. I'm like, I want to play this. And it was my first one. I'm like, right. I've now got rid of my PSVR. It's sold. I wish I didn't, because I really want to play London Heist again. And I hope, I don't know, maybe PlayStation and Steam can do some sort of crossover and bring. I mean, here anything's possible at this point. You've got Blizzard and Xbox now.
Yeah,
that's a big step. So I'm not saying PlayStation should, but PlayStation's is in a tricky place, in my opinion, right now. It used to be PlayStation that used to, be the best. Now the way things are going, Oculus is going to be not Oculus. Xbox is going to be the best. Like, it'll be interesting, just to go kind of off topic to VR games. You've got games such as Call of Duty and all of that, and they might end up making that Xbox exclusive games. Obviously, they might not, because Call of Duty is one of those kind of big games. But yeah, I just wanted to mention that.
No, it's interesting. And Xbox is the one that has never really believed in VR. We've seen Microsoft finally teamed up to make the Reverb. And I kept thinking they were doing that, so they'd launch that on the Xbox One X, whatever it is. I thought that would happen. And no, we know the PlayStation has PSVR 2 coming. Oh, yeah. And I'm super excited.
The controls look more
wild.
I don't know. I'll see when it comes out. I'll see about the reviews and everything. Me personally, I don't really see. I'm not really that fussed about the PlayStation. Do you have a PlayStation 5, don't you?
Yeah.
How's that been? How's the PlayStation 5?
Well, I mean, I don't
Do you
play
see a
flat games.
difference?
I don't play flat games much, but when you
Right.
play the PlayStation 5 and you feel those controllers with the triggers that are adaptive
Yeah.
and you feel those haptics, as a VR enthusiast, you think, wow, this needs to be in VR.
Do you
And then
think
when
they'll
you
do that to
find
the
out,
controls?
that's what they've announced now. They're calling
Oh,
these
really?
Sense controllers, and they're going to
Oh,
have all
man.
the same things. And the headset's even going to have haptics in it. And
Oh,
like,
yeah, I heard that, and it's going to push against your face and eye tracking, I think. That's right,
yep,
like, eye
yep.
tracking. See, I
You
wonder
hear
how
all
they would
that,
do
and
that.
it's like, okay, I have to have this headset now. Like,
Yeah.
if I can pre-order it day one, like I did with the original PSVR, I'm going to
Yeah.
do it this time too, because I've got to experience that. Because you play a PS5 and you're like, oh, this is cool, but it feels a little
Yeah.
gimmicky. It feels a little weird because I'm
Yeah.
feeling this bow string pull back. I'm feeling it,
Yeah.
but I'm sitting across the room from my TV. You
Yeah.
put me in a VR headset and I feel it. Then that's going to be totally different, and I
Oh,
can't
yeah.
wait.
Oh, no. You saying that kind of wants to make me buy a PlayStation 5 just for this VR headset now. No, I haven't looked too much into the whole kind of PlayStation VR stuff. But no, I'm excited for that because, like I said, the PlayStation VR was my first headset, and to kind of see I have the version 1 headset. I don't know if you have the version 1 of the PSVR. Well, yeah, you've got day 1. You said so. I've got the original one.
Mhm.
Well, I did. So yeah, it'll be interesting on how they step up. Obviously, they already said they're going to have 4K.
Mhm.
Well, I think so. Anyway, they said they're going to have 4K, and with the eye tracking, what I hope they do. I think I don't know if it was you that said it or I've just read it somewhere, but I'm interested in how they're going to do the eye tracking. Like, is it when you're going to look left to your eyes, is the whole kind of screen going to shift left in a sense? So it's like, because obviously if you look left in real life, you're going to see more of this side. If you look right, you're going to see more of this side. So I hope they kind of do that in a sense with this VR, so it feels like you've got more field of view. I hope they do that because I think that would be a really genius idea if they do take on that point because like we said earlier, I hope more VR headsets do more field of view. That's
Mhm.
that because I've gotten that used to VR. Obviously, when you first try it out, I mean, I still get it every now and then, but when you first try out VR, you do feel, whoa, this is crazy. I remember playing that T-Rex, I think it was an Oculus demo, and
Yep.
I closed my eyes pretending I was seeing it. I was like, nah, I don't like it. And also, you look in VR now, and because I'm that immersed in it, I'm just like, it's a dinosaur. So like, I'm not. I hope. Obviously, I'll still have that feeling, but I hope there's a headset where it just fills your face, and it's
Mhm.
just you are in it, kind of like Ready Player One.
Yeah.
I hope they do stuff like that. Going back to your channel, you did an arcade in Texas. Is that right?
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. What? How did? Well, I don't want to say how did that come about, but was that fun? Because if I'm ever going to Texas, I want to try out that place because you've got the boxing simulator. You had I think it was you and a few friends like in this multiplayer kind of play space. Like, what was that like? Trying like like an arcade VR. What was that like compared to VR at home?
So we went to Texas originally because we were supposed to meet up with this VR esports team
Yeah.
and hang out with them. And the trip really just evolved from there. So we ended up going to a place called Zero Latency, which is a place where you wear a backpack PC, you have a gun in your hands, a headset on your head, and you're in a warehouse that's all tracked. And you can walk physically around in this warehouse and play these games that they've designed for it. And the crazy thing about these, like one game takes place on a spaceship. And so you'll walk down this corridor, you'll shoot some stuff on your way down, you get into an elevator, the elevator lifts you up, and then you step out a separate door in the elevator and you walk down this other corridor and these hallways, and it feels like you're on this huge spaceship. But what they're doing is they're tricking you because you're in this room and you're basically just doing laps in this room.
Yeah.
But because you're getting on elevators, you're going downstairs and you're turning and turning, it feels like you're really in this huge place.
Yeah.
And someone who had never done this would have been like, how in the world did they make this happen? Because I'm just in this room. Like, this isn't
Yeah.
possible. And it was awesome. You can see your other friends because they're tracked in virtual reality in real time. You're working together. There's also PvP games. Zero Latency is absolutely awesome. But we also went to a VR gym. So that was Thriver was what
There's
they're
a
talking
VR
about there.
gym.
So that's
Jeez,
what they're going for. It's a little complicated, but they have the flying machine. It's like this thing you lay in and you have a VR headset on.
Oh yeah.
You're balancing to fly through these obstacles, and they have that boxing machine you were talking about. That boxing machine, you're actually supposed to be wearing AR or VR goggles when you play it,
Yeah.
and then you'll see the enemy in front of you. But they were worried people might hurt themselves. you're punching stuff for real.
Yeah.
And
Oh yeah.
if you are in VR and you couldn't quite see what you're punching and you jammed your wrist or something.
Oh.
But they also had VR treadmills. They had treadmills there so that you're using your physical legs and running around. And those were actually a little less impressive than I thought they would be. They're a little clunky, but overall, we just saw all these cool different VR locations in Texas. We got to tour all these places, and it was really cool. It was so much fun, and it was kind of like a goal of the channel I always had was hopefully one day we'd get to go try new tech in the VR realm.
Yeah.
And it felt like, wow, we've kind of arrived. Like I didn't think we'd be here already, and it kind of felt like we'd already made it. So it was really fun.
You mentioned the AR there. Obviously, I don't really know a lot about the whole AR type of scene. But do you hope in terms of VR headsets? Do you think they do more? Not AI, but AR stuff. So it's like you can see stuff in your room, but it's like I don't know how I would put it. It's like you can play games. There's a Star Wars game headset, and it comes with a little lightsaber. I don't know if you know what I'm talking about. I think that's AR. Do you think they do more games? Do you hope they do more games like that?
Oh yeah, I think that eventually what's going to happen is we're going to see the lines blur between AR and VR, and XR is actually what people are kind of calling it already.
Yeah,
because like even the Quest now it uses AR. When you're in pass-through mode, you're in AR. There's games now that actually use the AR modes, and you see the real room around you while you're playing your games. Yeah. So it doesn't have to be this VR versus AR thing people try to make it out to be. I think it'll eventually merge, and we'll see some really cool options. Because like imagine a zombie shooter in your house where you start off by marking your doorways in the house, and then it has zombies walking in from your doors, and you're trying to defend yourself in your own house. You know, that's cool. I want games like that too. I love VR.
Sorry, on you go.
I was going to say I love VR because it can take you anywhere, but I also want to have that option of doing stuff in my own area and changing my reality too.
Yeah, I think like I've mentioned with field of view, just kind of thinking about it, I think that's the best way to feel more immersed within a game. Like you said with the doors, I imagine like I marked out that door and it's like a zombie barrier and zombies break through. That'll feel real if they do it right. Yep. And I hope they do bring out. I mean, I was hoping they would do it with this eventually because you have the trackers in it. I know it's in black and white. Well, what I'm aware of anyways. Like I hope they do more AR games with wireless headsets, especially if they've got cameras here. Like make these cameras a lot like do more. Or maybe I'm not aware of stuff. I know they do, hand tracking and all of that, but I want them to kind of bring AR, be able to track your room, to be able to kind of look around it, like game wise, like imagine a head crab right there, like just jumping at you, like that'd be awesome in my opinion. But no, I hope they do more AR stuff.
Yeah, there's a few that are trying it with the Quest. It's still very experimental, but I know there's one or two games where like you play the game, but it shows you like a recreation of the room you're in, and kind of like looks kind of like the Matrix around you while you're playing the game in the middle of the room, and that's cool too because it also helps you don't walk over and punch a wall. It gives you some spatial awareness, which I think would make a lot more people more comfortable to try it. So
yeah. Well, I'm getting towards the end of kind of my list, so I just want to talk about your channel a little bit more. Yeah. How did I said that at the start, but I take it do you do YouTube full time? Is YouTube kind of your job?
Yes, I don't call it that. I still call it a hobby because I feel like once you make your passion your work, it's not your passion anymore. Yeah. But I don't do anything else for income, so it is the main thing I do. But I think of it as a hobby.
Yeah, I mean, I remember watching your video and you had a tricky spot of getting monetized. You can correct me if I'm wrong, but you had that. So what did it feel like? You got monetized. You were earning money from something. It was the same with me with Rec Room. You were earning something that you actually enjoyed doing. Was it? You had. It must be a good feeling knowing you are earning money. You're getting people's products for you to get. To review them. How did you feel? You got monetized. You had such a build up. How was all of that?
It's on one hand, it's kind of like everything you ever expected. Like you hope, that, one day we'll get to this point, or one day we'll be making money and we'll be doing what we want. And you get there and you're like, wow, this is exactly what I was hoping for. This is the dream that every content creator has, whether it's a hobby or it's for fun, there's always that dream that eventually you can make it your whole life, because who wants to go work, in food service? So it feels really good. But on the other hand too, it's funny because you start to realize it's not what you thought.
Mhm.
in some respects.
Yeah.
Like, I remember when I first started thinking about a channel that had over 10,000 subscribers, I was like, oh man, their life must be totally different and all this stuff. And it's like, I still
Yeah.
get up in the morning and think, what do I want to do today? Like, what video do I
Yeah.
want to work on? It's not totally different. I'm not having to do as much. I don't have to buy as many games. I don't have to buy as many products to review. Now it's sent to me, but I still live the same life. So I think
Yeah.
it's funny because people now, they talk about, oh, well, this person has 500,000 subscribers and their life is probably this and that. I'm like,
Yeah.
their life is probably pretty close to
Probably.
mine. They're
Yeah.
just dealing with bigger, different things than I
Yeah.
am,
But yeah. No.
I'm
Yeah.
very happy with where we are.
Yeah, I mean, are you happy that YouTube? Because I know, I mean, with my opinion, I've got kind of like a hate love relationship with YouTube at the moment. Like sometimes I just feel like uploading, and sometimes I'm just like I can't be asked. Like that's why I haven't uploaded in like 4 months. I just kind of wanted to have like a chill time. I'm currently still in school right now. I've got I don't know what you call it over there, but I've got like exam tests and that coming up. So I've
Yeah.
kind of been needing to chill. So when you first started YouTube, was it a thing that you knew it was going to be, successful in a sense, or was that a thing that you wanted to keep on doing? Because you do upload every day, so is it a thing that you're just like, this is what I want to do till I die, or do you think there will be a point and it's like, I've kind of had enough of this. I've did what I wanted to do. You know, what what will happen towards the end of kind of your channel here?
As long as I keep enjoying it, it's going to keep happening. That's
Yeah,
that's
that's
where
good.
I'm at. If one day I start to hate it for some reason or something changes, then I might stop. But for now, I like doing it. I have fun doing it. It's making money, which is out of the realm of what I thought.
Oh
I
yeah,
thought that would take a long time or be a lot of hard work, and yet we've just been very fortunate. And so as long as it keeps being enjoyable, I'm going to keep doing it.
mm,
But I try to be careful because like we have an editor now and stuff, and it
yeah,
does start to change how you feel about it when it's like, okay, someone else is depending on this and someone's counting on me to post this video. It starts to go back to that, oh, is this my career? And I don't want to think of it as that. So I try
yeah,
to keep that line because I always want it to just be my passionate hobby. Even if there's people that make money off of it besides me, I still want to think of
yeah.
it as I'm enjoying doing this, and I love it. It's
Mm,
awesome. And just like you've said though, if you have a time and things are going crazy, you can step away from it. You don't
yeah.
have to be a daily uploader. It's actually sometimes bad to be a daily uploader like I am.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Because sometimes it can stifle other videos. It seems like you have a video doing well and then you post your next daily
Yeah, you
video and it
post
like
another one.
stops the other
That's what I
video
noticed.
almost.
Yeah,
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 it can be like that. So you have to love doing it and just do it. You can't be constantly worried about the views and how the videos are doing. You have to like what you're
yeah,
doing. Otherwise it's just another job you'll hate.
yeah. I mean, here, yeah. I mean, I wish I not that I wish I was like you, but obviously, you are uploading. I mean, I'm surprised that you said, sometimes when you upload, every day, it can be bad because it does stop another video. And that's what I kind of noticed when I uploaded 2 videos a day. I was like, why am I uploading? I didn't upload 2 videos a day, but it was within 24 hours. I managed to, especially during lockdown, I managed to fit in like a good few videos. And I remember one of my most viewed videos was it just stopped, or maybe it just got that many views and it was just that good and it just stopped. No, but
Yeah.
it just stopped, and then you upload another video, and it gets addictive in a sense. I remember you saying this to me. I had that boost when I made a Rec Room Theory video about possibly them bringing out a Rec Room kind of centre, like out, like kind of outside. I thought they were going to do that, and that's kind of what boosted my channel. And it gets addictive, and I hope people didn't do what I did, because you said it to me, and I did, I got addicted, and then because I started to get that little less, I just less motivation, and I'm not that I'm surprised, but you just do well with uploading, because you get some videos that it gets like 1,000, you get some videos that's just 70 views,
Mm-hmm.
so it's good that you said, and I hope people take that as advice of, it doesn't matter how many views you get, take it as a hobby and see if you can upload daily, go for it. But yeah, I see as long as you're enjoying it, that's the main thing, because I had teachers saying to me, not that you'll never be successful in YouTube, but it's just a thing, you can't get paid off of that. I remember telling them about like my Rec Room stuff. I actually told one of them, I'm earning more money than you, because I mean I was like, and I'm getting complained about it, and but no, I think I think the best advice is like have it as a hobby. Don't treat
Mhm.
it like a job, if you know what I mean by that. Because if
Yep.
you do treat it like a job, it feels like you've got more pressured on you. If
Yep.
you feel like okay, I see people that make schedules for their channels when they've only got like 50 subscribers. Like do that when you feel like you kind of have to. Like I say have to. Like do it when you get those amount of subs and. Upload daily if you can, because that helps. I mean, Rec Room. I kind of want to get onto that real quickly. Rec Room is the best VR game right now in terms of YouTube. There's a lot of people on the YouTube trend. Not sure what happened to him now, but Oreo VR. He did mad.
Mhm.
He did a madness when he uploaded. I think it was he got his mum in VR. Like I'm going to go and get my mum to come play VR now. Like I might get my dad or something like that. But no, it's mad. But yeah, we'll kind of end it there. But before we go, I just want to ask. I'm going to start asking this at any kind of podcast or interview that I do. What's the best advice? I mean, I kind of said it there, but what's the best advice to people that want to start a YouTube channel but want to do VR gaming? What would you do? Like, what would you say to them?
I would say, as we said, first, take it as a hobby. And
Yeah.
two, find the games that you want to play, not the games you think are going to do well.
Yeah.
Because I've seen channels that, like you, start playing Rec Room, and it wasn't really
Yeah.
that they liked Rec Room, but the videos blew up. And
Yeah.
before they knew it, they were absolutely trapped in a Rec Room channel and not a VR channel. If you want your channel to be Rec Room, that's great. Go make a Rec Room channel. If you want your channel to be VR, force yourself to do other videos, even when you know they aren't going to succeed, so that you do the things that you wanted to do from the start. Don't let the views dictate where your channel goes. That's so many creators get caught in that trap, and it will make your life miserable.
Yeah. I appreciate that. And before we actually end it off, I want to show you something.
Oh, I've been eyeing that this whole time.
The whole time, can you rate my unboxing knife?
I got to give it the 10 out of 10 because it's got the curve. It's got the curve, which is what I want.
Curve. Yeah.
I want the curve because the curved one is actually the katana. What I have is technically a ninjato sword. I want the curved katana like you have, the nice, small, sharp unboxing knife.
I've had this before I was even born. This is like
wow.
My dad had it. I don't know who gave it to him, but it's now passed out to my gaming room. This is my gaming room.
He'd probably be shocked if you started using it to open boxes then.
Oh, a sharp unboxing knife. Like I just got an Apple phone. I switched to Android to Apple, and I just got my Apple Watch today, and I used that. So I mean, I didn't have any other choice. I didn't have a small unboxing sharp knife. So I was like, you know what? I'll use my katana. That's what JayBratt does. Just be safe.
Yes.
Just be safe. And that's
we've changed one life, and that was all it took.
Thank you. I appreciate you, Jay. It was awesome having you. If it comes again, I'll be happy for you to come back on again. I enjoy speaking to you, especially you've helped me out a lot in terms of getting like my gaming equipment, mic, green screen, anything like that. My channel especially. Thank you, Jay. It's really good to have you on, especially like I just said, you helped out with my channel. You helped out with my equipment, so it was much appreciated, man.
Awesome. Well, thank you. You need anything out there, or anyone out there is listening, if you ever need, hit me up. I do my best to answer all questions and respond to all comments still. It can get a little hectic sometimes, but I do my best. So if anybody needs any help, I'm here for you. And thanks again. This has been really fun, buddy.
Yeah, brilliant. Thank you. We'll end it there. Thank you guys for watching. This will be on Spotify, iTunes, hopefully very soon. Spotify, iTunes is getting a bit dodgy. Dodgy as in, it's getting a bit tricky. Spotify, we're getting really close to it, but at the moment, it'll be streamed on YouTube right now. So thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Take care.